just getting that money. He was always broke. He skipped town with a woman, and that ain't no joke. She met him in Montgomery, and there was no mystery. But when it got down to, I had to funk him to his knees. Tonight, we will right. You got to treat her like a lady. She's my diamonds and pearls. That girl is my world. She's the mother of my baby. Wouldn't you rather funk and not fight? Oh, there's no fight. That is what I have. Wouldn't you rather funk, not fight? That is what I have.
Not only does America have a very serious problem, but our people have a very serious problem. America's problem is self-destruction. Yeah, it's my self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it's my self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it's my self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it's my self-destruction.
Well, today's topic, self-destruction. It really ain't the rap audience that's bugging. It's one or two suckers, ignorant brothers, trying to rob and steal from one another. You get caught in the mid. So to crush that stereotype, here's what we did. We got ourselves together so that you can unite and fight for what's right. Not negative cause. The way we live is positive. We don't kill our relatives.
Pop, 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 when it's shot, who's to blame? Headline, front page, and rap's the name. MC Delight here to state the bottom line. The black on black crime was way before our time.
Took a brother's life with a knife as his wife cried cause he died of trifling death when he left his very last breath. Was I slept, so watch your step. Back in the 60s, our brothers and sisters were hanged. How could you gangbang? I never ever ran from the Ku Klux Klan, and I shouldn't have to run from a black man, cause that's
self-destruction. Yeah, it's my self-destruction. Self-destruction. Yeah, it's my self-destruction. Self-destruction.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of African Americans Ain't Africans, the Think Show that proves without a shadow of a doubt that the so-called African American didn't find their way to America in the trunk of a ship. I'm your host, the Indigenous One. And tonight with me, as always, is the Accomack Princess, Lisa Cypress. And we're going to discuss some things that are happening that affects all of us in real time. You know, a lot of we have to be on the same time frame as what we have to know what's going on. We have to be aware of what's happening around us. The Facebook user says we want our land back. So, you can call the show 205-336-2234 and give us some ideas on how to get the land back. What you mean we want our land back? These people aren't giving you nothing now. You think they're going to give them something, the best in life they ever had? You had it, have it, but you give it away. And that's what we're going to discuss tonight with all this stuff that's going on in the news, what's happening in real time, and we're going to explain it. It's going to blow your mind. So joining me as always is Miss Lisa Cypress. Lisa, how you doing this evening?
Hey, Ayuk, Halito. I'm great. How are you doing, Carrie?
Oh, it's well. It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah, we had to kind of, we had to preempt our plans of what we were going to talk about to deal with this Montgomery Riverboat brawl, brawling brawling over the riverfront. And I wasn't that familiar with it. So could you kind of get into it a little too?
No, well, it was just
Hello? Hello? Carrie? Oh,
I'm
Carrie?
sorry. I see. So hold on. We're gonna open up the phone lines and call in then, because this will kind of, we'll get to a part where we just open up the phone lines. What were we talking about, Lisa?
If anybody wants to pop on, they can. Like, let's
Yeah.
just keep it
Yeah,
flowing.
but I want to do it because the phone rings and I got to answer it, and
Oh, yeah, okay.
it just takes it from the continuity of the phone. So what we'll do, we'll get into a spot where we'll just start taking phone calls, and
Gotcha.
I'll accept them, and you guys ask your questions or say what you want to say, and we'll keep it moving like that. Facebook user said we must find a way to change the classification game. No, I don't see it like that. I see what they do to us, we do it to ourselves because we're not understanding. Who are these people? This dude is at work. This dude he's at work. He's making it possible for the patrons that are coming in to have a place so they can get off the ship. These motherfuckers just want, nigga, fuck you, nigga, I do what I want to do. And just start beating up the cat. Now, I know a lot of Negroes out there think we're all family and all that shit. This is the shit they've been doing. They knew this shit's coming, and they're going to try to use it against us if we don't know what the hell is going on. So, that's my take on it. Yeah. And it's like you said with that song, that whatever the song is, you had some words on that. Can you bring that up?
What, the self-destruction?
No, the song, how you were talking earlier about the
you talking about the country
video
guy?
and all that stuff.
Oh, the country guy?
Yeah, the song.
Yeah.
How all this is playing in together.
Okay, yeah. Let me. I think I deleted it or somehow. Let me go get
it. I mean, you don't have to play it. I'm just talking about. Because I'm sure everybody's seen it, and it's really not to put up to advertise. I'm just saying what these cats do, how things are being done real time. Because don't you think that video?
Yeah,
that's part.
I think everything is orchestrated. Pretty much. You know what I mean?
Right.
This stuff is orchestrated. We don't. We're being played. We're being played. Try That in a Small Town is a song that we were discussing before this broadcast, and the Try That in a Small Town song, it has some controversy, but not enough. If you look at the internet, the Try That in a Small Town song, and it's got a lot of positive reviews according to YouTube, the YouTube and social media. It's hard to find anything negative about Try That in a Small Town, except if you look at The View, right? So if you look at The View, then they're gonna be like, oh, Try that in a small town. It's horrible. But then The View, is looked at like they're, a bunch of idiots anyway. They're kind of, disrespected, as far as, it's right now they're about to be canceled most likely, This is let me see if I can share this tab with you so you can see this video real quick. We'll just.
Sucker punch somebody on the sidewalk. Carjacking old lady at a red light. Pull a gun on the owner of a liquor store. You think it's cool, act a fool if you like. Cuss out a cop, spit in his face. Stomp on the flag and light it up. Yeah, you think you're tough. Well, try that in a small town. See how far you make it down the road. Around here we take care of our own. You cross that line, it won't take long for you to find out. I recommend you don't. Try that in a small town. Got a gun that my granddad gave me. They say one day they're gonna round up. Well, that shit might fly in the city. Good luck, try that in a small town.
For this, the Negroes, they're like, there's nothing wrong with it. I grew up in a small town. We stick together. We might not get along all the time, but when things go, wrong, we're always come together and da da da. And I'm like, okay, that's probably true, and that's why, that's fine. But the reality is that there are a lot of small towns where there's constant racial tension and terrorism. Okay. There are a lot of small towns where there's a very strong constant of terrorism and tension. Okay. And that's just a fact. We can sit up there. A lot of people, like to, take their experience and like, oh yeah, everything's peachy keen. It's not necessarily peachy keen, but the reality is they're trying to fan the flames of racial and of violence in America, and in our America and their United States, because they want us to go buck wild. They want anarchy. They want to be able to institute martial law, right? They want to institute martial law. So that's basically, that's why they want to let this kind of violence be like, out there, shown, celebrated in a way, incited. Okay. Now, when I heard Jason Aldean's song, I thought it was a cool song. I liked it. I heard it when it came out. But when I see this video with the burning and the Molotov cocktail, and I was like, that's real extreme. Like, that's not, it has the opposite effect. The warm and fuzzy feeling of just hearing the song, I didn't imagine what I saw in the video. I don't know why they're standing by the Capitol of Tennessee, where they have lynched people, Negroes there. I mean, I don't know why they're showing these riot gear officers, which makes you feel like Rodney King, and gives you feelings of all kinds of other situations which aren't necessarily what he's showing, but it does hearken that same kind of energy and that same kind of feeling, depending on who you are. If you're oblivious to it, if you're either a Negro that's not very smart, or you're just kind of like absent, you're checked out as to what's going on in places other than your micro experience, then yeah, you may not be able to relate to it. Oh, my town's great. They may not like you either. They may think you're a dummy. They may think you're a dumb Negro and not even want you there. But if, you may be oblivious to it. Okay. Now, what I want to say is there's good people and horrible people of all races. Okay. That's what we need to always keep in mind. There's horrible Negroes, horrible people that are, whatever, of color, or people that are white, people that are pink, or pink people, as some people want to say. There's good people that are European pinks, and there are horrible, European blacks. So, I mean, you don't know what you're going to be dealing with and who's going to be the problem behind everything. And you still don't know. But the reality is you can't be triggered by stuff, right? We can't be triggered by things, and you can't let like the image of what happened in Montgomery be a set it off for, yeah, let me get my chance to do that. No, because all they really want is for the common white, pink, brown, yellow, whoever folks to just go buck wild so they can take away all your rights. That's what they want to do. So you want to act crazy? You want to, feel like you want to get into something that's not whatever. It's not, that's not the plan. You can't let them dictate what you do. You've got bigger things to do. The war that we have is not a war that's physical. The war that we have is spiritual and mental and legal. It's legal, spiritual, and mental. It don't have nothing to do with daggone fisticuffs or knuck if you buck. It don't have nothing to do with that. So if you down for a knuck with you buck, then don't do that. That's not good. Let's not get to this. Let's not do this.
So
hold on a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna play it real quick. Just a little bit of it. We don't need to be getting that. So, I mean, like, we don't need to get like,
what the hell was that?
It's knuck if you buck, knuckle up. If you buck, if you ready, if you bout it, if you bout that fight, knuckle up, knuck if you buck. Knuck if you buck. Okay, throwback. That's a throwback. Anyway, so basically, we need to understand that this is, a lot of this is all orchestrated for us. This stuff is pushed in the media for us to mimic, for people to replicate, for, people to feel a certain way about it. I don't know where that strong swimmer came from, but people were excited to see that strong swimming Negro jump from the ship, from the boat, casino boat, to the water, and then with sneakers on and everything, jump up, lift himself up out of the water, take his sneakers off, and get to daggone scrapping. I mean, people call him Aquaman. Seriously, we can't, we're very peaceful people. So when we see ourselves do, things that actually have us engaging in that way, it's, I don't know. It makes you feel, excited. I think, everybody likes to see people, stand up, so that's the thing about it. Seeing folks stand up, that's important. But the thing about it, you got to understand is that they're trying to create a situation where we are in a state of anarchy, where they have to say, well, the government has to come in and take control because the people are in more than a brawl. It's out of control. You see what I'm saying? That's what they're trying to create. And that you don't need to be falling for that okie doke. That is an okie doke you don't need to be falling for. Do not fall for the okie doke of, yeah, we need to be in the streets. We need to be taking no prisoners. We need to fight back. It's over. That kind of stuff. No. I mean, of course, we have an attitude today where they're trying to create an image where it's they want to promote the violence because that's what they want to happen. But the reality is a lot of people are sitting down, and a lot of people, and most of us, are very respectful, and the majority of us are very, very like taking situations that could have blown up into something really ugly, and we're managing them very well. So that's what we need to be mindful of. The truth is really not being shown. What's being shown is what they want us to be. What do you think, Carrie?
What you said, they're trying to make it an agenda. They're trying to put an agenda out there. And so what you were saying about the young man who jumped in and swam to help everybody brought this picture to mind, bought this image. Everybody know Confederate currency. This is the money in Montgomery where this incident took place. This was the money back then. And so Lisa said something critical. It can't be a physical war. For number one, you are outgunned. You are outplaned. You are out helicoptered. You're elderly. You're in some of these homes. You have your hands tied behind your back, but you chose to do it. This is what you wanted. You have to let these people know that this is your shit. If you don't know that, if you constantly calling yourself Black, African American, that's the war that we're fighting now. We don't know who the hell we are. We have to go lucky with it.
I just want to go ahead and put that out. Okay.
Sorry.
So this is what I'm saying. It's not a physical war. You better know who you are. Do you? Damn. One or two people ain't enough. Everyone has to do it. Because that's how these people over here on your country treating you like you in their country fucking up. Huh? So no, you got to get with these cats psychologically, like the sister did with that white boy slapped that sister, and she knocked it that tight. They're trying to foment some kind of animosity to get shit going. It's in full throttle now. You, your children, grandchildren, whoever, have to know who they are.
Oh my God, Sharkeisha! This man is a oh,
Sharkeisha. Where is that? Yeah. Sharkeisha.
Are you done?
Go ahead. I haven't gotten it. The Sharkeisha one. I was looking for that.
So listen, they're trying to foment. They're trying to get something popping off. We got to be smarter than this, and we got to come another way. And the other way is knowing who you are.
Oh my God, Sharkeisha! This man is a Sharkeisha. Oh my God, Sharkeisha!
I find it crazy how 90% of people.
This man is a Sharkeisha. Oh my God, Sharkeisha! This man is a Sharkeisha. Oh my God, Sharkeisha! This man is a Sharkeisha. Oh, Sharkeisha!
So that's that.
So this is the kind of stuff that'll be used to, fan the flames.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kind of things that'll be used to get you in an uproar. Them too. They've been stocking up weapons for the past 50 years for you. I know we doing it and we got it, but we don't produce them.
Right.
See, when you see this is one of the ways we got caught up. Why? Because we got in their wars. And you promised, you took an oath never to turn your weapon against your master, didn't you? You would turn them against yourself all day long because that's what you do with them. There's another way. We just got to get right mentally, psychologically.
Right, because it's all right when it's like this. Like when it's it's cute when it's the punches. You know what I mean? Punches, it's like, it's cute. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, look at him. No, nobody has died from this incident, and so that's different, right? That's different. We can,
So the upper body
can deal with that. But when it's like,
but I just want to,
when it's machine guns and all this other stuff, yeah, when it's the military and they got bombs and helicopters,
homeboy, white guy starts taking a fight with a black security guard. He's swinging. His homies start entering. They all want a piece of the action. This guy's fighting now. What? 5 guys by himself? 6 guys? 7 guys? 8 guys? He's solo dolo, but not for long. Because his fellow brothers, one comes running down the dock. Oh, you
trying to be nice guy? No, he's trying to break it up.
But the kicker is the man who swam in the lake to get some action. He is swimming to the end of the dock at record speed. I want to see him against Michael Phelps because I think he might have beaten him. He is literally swimming for his life, gets to the edge of the dock, pulls himself out soaking wet. Look at the strength.
That's hard. People don't understand. Soaking wet. That's hard.
Takes his shoes off and says, "It's go time. Y'all want some? I got some for you." Now it's on, but it's not over. The homies pull up. Now we got a squad.
Now
he said, "Oh, you thought we forgot? Now it's on. What's good?" And the fight just go. It looked like the Avengers Endgame. This is like the black version of the Avengers.
Wow, this is.
So I mean, yeah, it's when it's a bunch of drunk folks jumping in the water, and you know what I mean. They just slapping each other around or throwing things at each other. Then that's one thing, right? But if they come back with all their all their machine guns, and they all their friggin' military gear, and it's not pretty then. It's not funny. It's not as cute. It's really not gonna be as cute. The police didn't go around trying to shoot anybody down, so it wasn't a disaster. It wasn't as ugly as it could have been, but it could have been hit really, really, really ugly. And so we need to keep that in mind. Yeah, it's amusing, but what are they really trying to do?
Check this out. Keep this in mind. Just imagine you going over to Germany, France, England, and behaving like they behave with you over here. Imagine that.
Right.
See, these people have been wrong for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And as a group of people, we really haven't said shit. Mm-hmm. Just take it. Yeah, man. You want me to do, boss? These people are, I'm telling you, this is what we signed up for. We marched and died for this shit. Didn't we?
We did. And we marched and died for where we could sit in the bus too. And then I guess it's in Idaho or somewhere. They had 2 brothers that was trying to ride in an empty bus, and the driver ordered them to sit in the back of the bus. I don't know if y'all heard about that one. Roland Martin. We don't like Roland.
As 2 black men in Fargo, North Dakota,
to actually move to the back of the bus.
North Dakota, Fargo.
No, seriously. And the bus was empty. Watch this.
Well, you got 6 cameras on this bus. So
6 cameras.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you, Sarah. Yeah. Thank you. Okay. You want to ride or not?
You bother me. I'm doing what you asked me to do. I'm back here. I took a seat.
Okay. Right. Right. All right.
I have to use the restroom.
No. Okay. And we have the camera watching. That's cool.
Hold on.
Oh, that's cool.
I have to go. No, I have to go.
Are you guys trying to start something?
I went to the back of the seat.
Nothing wrong. So I'll call them right now. Because we did nothing wrong. We not wanted you or anything. You haven't had it with us. I asked you a simple question. I did nothing to you. It's on camera. So if you really want to do this, we can do this. Oh. You said you were going to call it. I was looking right here. I asked you a simple question. That's what I think I was looking for. I have a seat on the front. Just around. I have a seat.
Where some of these, fragile pink people are feeling very fragile, and they feel the need to assert their authority, no matter what it is. If it's a bus driver, if it's their feeling superior, feeling of being privileged or superior. And this is the other sad part about what's going on these days is that we don't really have any of the good pink Europeans standing up against this. You know what I mean? There's not a real public outcry against this like there should be. You know what I mean? I feel. But then again, we don't know that because the media is so controlled and suppressed. So we don't know. So they make us see what they want us to see. So maybe they don't want us to know that there's outrage and vast numbers of pink Europeans that are just outraged by this. Maybe that never makes it to our never makes the views, never gets in our views, never gets, doesn't get the daggone exposure, that sort of thing. They control everything. So it's possible that that's just being hidden from us on purpose.
But that's what I'm saying. We got to control what we see and what we say, and just like this, what we're seeing right now, this is all the information we're getting from them. So you don't know what this information is because they edit it, they make stuff up, they make stuff to get people going, they do stuff to get people's emotions riled up. You don't know. So this is why we got to be at the top of our game when it comes to thinking and knowing what's going on. We have to know these things and stop making mistakes. Oh, I forgot. Nah, don't forget. We at that point now. You've noticed in the past, it's been a while. The immigrant flux that's coming into the country. They're here to replace you. So like I'm saying, be wise in your decisions. Think, know what's going on. Know what the people who's been against you since you've been on this planet, you should know their moves by now. And like, some brothers, but it ain't like that no more. For real? For real? So, those are my, what I would pass on to the family and everybody else. Be wise. what's been what's coming out of it, Lisa? How are they making this?
I mean, I think that, I think that this is, a lot of people are, I think the energy is that, oh, this is a sad, disgusting thing, and it's sad, and it is. I mean, it is. It's interesting. It's very confusing, because on one side you want to see us rise up and act like we're engaged and care about each other. That you want to see, and so seeing that gave people hope. I can tell you that, as us indigenous people, it gave us hope to see us rise up, come together, and fight together. And also, it's good to see a fist fight. Why is everybody got to shoot to kill? It is actually good to see a fist fight. You know what I mean? A good old fashioned fist fight is good to see, because all this murder and just like there's no taking back a bullet. You know what I mean? It's screwed up. So to see people live to fight another day is an awesome thing. That I like that. But also, I think that we also need to be aware not to be triggered that, that they want people to go into the streets and fight and get out of control, because that will allow them to go ahead and take away all your freedom, all your rights, what little bit you have left. So you do not want that to happen. So I would caution everybody that this is not to be repeated. We're not to continue with this kind of thing, because this was a interesting combination of drunkenness and I don't know, it was weird. I think everybody was
arrogance,
yeah, privilege, stubbornness, hatred. Refusing to listen to the Negro to tell them where to move, refusing, oh, you can't tell me nothing. And then and then violence. Why are you so angry? I don't know why you're so angry. Because you feel like you're losing your grip on what you've stolen, right? They feel like they're losing their grip on what they have stolen. That is going on all around the world, y'all.
Which is double wise. We got to be wise in our moves.
That is something you need to handle with care. They are feeling like they are losing their grip on what they have stolen. And the truth is, they are. They are losing their grip on what they have stolen. Because their power and what they have stolen has been their sworn secrecy, that the entire planet has been in a compromise, that they were saying, oh, well, we won't tell the Negroes the truth about how things went down. Now, why don't we know how things went down? Because we were terrorized a whole heck of a lot, and terrorized people who are burned out of their businesses and homes and lynched, and they are driven to exile, not migrate, not no great migration. Right. I hate when people say the great migration. It wasn't no great migration. It was terrorism, and it was exile, okay? So when you're driven to exile, well, our response as a people is not to commemorate it. Other races may commemorate it, and that's not how we respond to trauma. We shut down and we try not to talk about it. So as a result, we have a silent generation that was a very big generation, and they were very silent, and they passed that silence on to the baby boomers, who didn't really have a lot of information, because they had parents that were the silent generation. So when you have these, and then the baby boomers were given their history. It was hand delivered to them by white supremacists. So the baby boomers went back and told mom and dad, well, this is our history. Like when you see it in raising a son. When she came back home from college, she's telling her mama about Africa. Her mama didn't know nothing about no Africa, didn't have no information about nothing about no Africa. But the bossy Benita, the daughter, came home to mama and was teaching the whole family about Mother Africa, right?
That's how it happened.
So that's right. So you got a whole generation of baby boomers who educated their parents backwards, right? And it literally was a backwards education. And then carried that backwards miseducation forward until present day, until you still have them holding on and holding offices and in politics and running the daggone, African American museum and in charge of organizing the daggone 1619. See, these people are the miseducators that they have been instructed to be by the supremacists. They're black supremacists, right? These black supremacists are keeping us all herded up in ignorance. Unfortunately for them, despite all their efforts, people are awakening and they are informing themselves and they are educating themselves and they are researching for themselves. And so now, despite their hardest efforts, people know, okay, wait a minute. Not only aren't we African, but we are the indigenous people and the landlords of this country, right? We're the landlords of the Americas, the kings and the queens.
So check this out. So now I want to open up the phone lines. And so I'm going what Lisa just brought up, knowing that you're the landlords, knowing that, hey, this is mine. What do you think the people around the country should do right now as a nation of people? We want to get your answers, the callers, what you say. How do you think it should go down? Because remember, your ideas are just as good as anybody else's. Asana says, I'm a baby boomer. True Pan-Africanism was by design. Never saw an African till 1967 selling trinkets on 125th Street in Harlem. Ain't that how they start out, selling trinkets? Telling you right there. This is somebody walking amongst you. Shit, she'll tell you.
Right. Right. And a lot of us,
These are the people you should be getting your information from.
Right. And they didn't really spread throughout the country until the 80s. New York is the gateway. So, you're going to see everybody first thing there. Right. But you didn't see them in Texas and, New Jersey, Philly, until like the 70s and the 80s.
And now they have the majority of the Negro wanting to be them. And exactly. Acting like they not mentally fucked up from that. And you are.
Well, I mean, they just want to
like
believe.
You just said, you got these gatekeepers. You got these cats who spouting this way of how it should be. And it's bounding up the energy of the indigenous people. You're on your land telling your people and teaching your people that you're from somewhere 5,000 miles away, while the people that live 5,000 miles away come over here and pimp you like a hoe. Come on, y'all. Come on. I mean, is that how it's happening or not? Huh? Is that how it's happening?
Yeah, that's exactly how it's happening.
I don't think it should happen like that. Now I know you're gonna cuss me out. Not you, but
right.
Man, but we going about this whole thing wrong.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm just saying, where's the ideas?
It's
Got some
time
good
for us.
ideas?
It's time for people. Yeah. And if you guys want to, some people from Facebook had some questions earlier, and, it's a chance for you to go ahead and answer your questions. And, we weren't really talking about that, but at the time, but we're talking about it now. And if you have questions about what we should be doing, we definitely should not be trying to figure out how to fight in the streets or, think that we even have a chance if something like that actually does go down, and we should avoid that going down at all costs. That's when we need to definitely put on our peace hats, because seriously, all they want to do is take away your freedom, and we're not going to allow that. We're not allowing anybody to take away our freedom. Not now, not ever.
Lisa, we have a caller. Caller, introduce yourself and go on with your question or whatever.
It's a little low. It's too low, Carrie.
Okay. Wait a minute, Cupper. Wait a minute. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, get the volume way up. And
Okay, okay, go ahead, Lisa. Let me, I don't know what happened. Okay, Copper Color Lifestyle, my bad, you're on.
Okay. No worries. So something that I think that we should all be looking at is getting into real estate, trying to buy back our land. And I mean, I know it may suck to have to buy it back, but unfortunately, that's what we have to do right now. But I know that real estate investing, especially in in our communities, like globally, is making people a bunch of money. So that's something that we really need to do. I see a lot of people coming just buying up low income houses, making bank from the government, not fixing it up, and it's, most of it, they're making most of the money from our people. So we're not getting in on that money train that other people are getting in on, and they're just coming over here buying up property. China's buying up a lot of stuff. A lot of people from the Middle East are coming over. There's a lot of people from West Africa, East Africa, it's like all over the world, just coming up and buying up real estate. And I think that's probably where we want to start. At least try to own our own properties rather than continue to be renters.
Where do you think we should start at? Do you think it should start in these big cities, or do you think that should start like some of these places that the Negro ran away from and abandoned years ago?
Oh, definitely places that has been left, because I know like the South, some of like our areas in the Middle East, that's where people are heavily getting because it's still cheap. Like you could still get like a 3 or 4 place for like under 200,000 in the Middle East or the South, but on the coast you can't do that, and that's what people are really coming in and buying up. They're coming in and buying it up, gentrifying it, and it's to the point where now we won't even be able to afford to live there.
So so what are some of the things you think we can do to avert that problem? I think we should maybe stop spending all our money with all these people, because that's how they're making their money.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, if we have to rent, like I understand it's expensive, especially right now with the interest rates to purchase homes. But if we have to rent, can we at least try to rent from each other? That's at least one place to start. But like definitely try not to support them, because they don't respect us. They just respect our money, and they don't even respect that really.
They don't. Well, Copper Color Lifestyle, thank you for your continued support. I really, really appreciate you.
Oh, yes, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Okay, love. Have a good night.
Thank you, Copper Colored.
So, I mean, we got to be intelligent, just like that sister sounded right there. We can't be just not knowing stuff. Oh, I didn't know. Always losing. You got to be, your thing got to be tight.
There are people that are homesteading and doing different things all over the country. Virginia, Georgia, Florida, all over. There are people doing it, truth be told. But the reality, this is what I will say, I looking at the county records and then the tax records and things like that, I have a problem with the fact that, we buy property and we buy it at the highest rate, but they take our property and they give it to each other for $0 or $10. And if you look through the daggone county records and all these different little towns, you'll find it. You'll see that they take your property away from your family members for taxes, plus court costs, plus lawyer fees, thousands and thousands of dollars. They take it so your family can't keep their property. They can't afford to keep it. And yet they give it to each other for $1. They give it away to each other for $1. They accumulate hundreds and thousands of acres of your family's land, and they don't pay nothing for it. And they're not even family to each other. So, I mean, I don't know if that makes you upset, but it makes me angry. And I don't want to, and it makes me, the thought of me spending money when I know that they're doing this and I see it in the county records all the time. And now, like Copper Color said, there are Asians and Africans going in, and guess what? They're all pretending to be you, and they're taking your land. They're getting the same benefits that the pink Europeans are getting, okay? We're the landlords, and we're being ripped off. It's really time for people to get themselves together and, get back what's yours. It really is. Hey, Anthony.
It's been time.
It's been time. Well, so I'm on the Eastern Shore about 3 days ago, and I'm like, what am I doing? I'm actually checking on the land that is the grave, this burial land of my ancestors, the Indian burial land that's in this being desecrated in Indiantown Park, because they have a disc golf game on top of the burial grounds. So, I come out from, I'm only there 5 minutes. I did a live real quick while I was there to show everybody that it still looks good, and, and to update them on my case and let them know that we're going to keep on fighting for, for the land, which, is going to become easier and easier, trust and believe. Anyway, I come out and there's a police car there, right? And, I'm like, what the world is he there? I wave at him. I wave him as I'm getting in the truck. He doesn't walk up to me or anything. I get in my truck. I wave to him as I'm passing by, and, and I go and I drive on off the, because I'm in the woods. I drive on off the grass and into the parking lot. And this, then he comes up, he drives up behind me, and I'm like, is there a problem? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, what are you doing in there? And I'm like, I'm visiting my ancestors. And I'm like, I'm telling him. So anyway, this is what this is. And where is the video? Here's the videotape. But it's a graveyard. That entire area is an Indian burial ground. They built a disc golf game on top of it. You got people selling drugs out here and leaving drugs all over the place, but you're going to come for me? Really? Like, I see people coming over here with bags and like going in the park and acting like they're on drugs. I see it all the time. Okay. This is a major drug. They come back here and they do like exchanges back in this park.
No doubt, but I parked in front of you. I heard screaming and you drove around me before I could get to you.
You heard screaming when I was doing my live. That was before I ever got into my car, but I can scream. I can scream when I'm talking to people. I was just shouting in happiness, but and I just drove straight. I didn't go zigzagging around you. I just went straight ahead. And I have a right to visit my ancestor. He's buried here. I have a right to visit my people.
Yes, you do. You have every right to visit your people.
Well, then I don't understand why I have. This is crazy. Y'all, look at this. They got like 4 police cars for me visiting my ancestors and the burial ground. What is going on in this county? Did they think that this is the way we treat people and we treat the dead and we don't let people honor their own ancestors. What is that about? Like, this is crazy. This is what they do. I got four officers. I got sheriffs. I got everything. For me driving into. Yeah, so it ended up being 5 police cars, like every little police officer they could scrape up, even the DARE instructor from the drug program at the school. She had showed up there with her little officer uniform on. I mean, everybody was there. So, I mean, seriously, it was because the little redneck that was, mowing the lawn at the park was upset because he saw me drive up into the woods. When in fact it needs to have access. There needs to be an access road for that burial ground. And the deed that they received from the U.S. government said that they were to protect and maintain the Indian burial grounds. Exactly. 5 police cars. Yeah, they had the drug enforcement guy. He was the one who was doing the main talking, was the drug enforcement guy. I'm like, what is he there for? What does he think I'm doing? Like, I mean, I was like, do you want to go see the grave? No, I don't want to go. They didn't want to go see the grave. They didn't want to go in the back, in the woods, but they just want to sit there and question me and act and detain my butt, that kind of thing. Unbelievable.
So this is what it means when we are confused about who we are. We have these people who are elected officials. Many of us love, and they do nothing. All that America, the whatever, is bullshit because they're not doing nothing, especially to the people that America, the people that America has produced, don't have no respect towards them at all. None. So this is what I mean. We got to be on our game plan, y'all. We can't be out here dumb.
Yeah, we have to be aware that, that these things are being done to trigger certain people to feel a certain way. And these people are feeling a certain way, but they really shouldn't, because, it is all because of the lies that we're being taught. They don't realize that they're slaves. A lot of these people don't really realize that they know that they can't really find their genealogy well. But it's because that they're orphans. They're the product of orphans, white slavery, and they don't have a history. Or if they do have a history, their family erased it on purpose because their names were the names of peasants and serfs and people that had low status, and they didn't want to carry that on, so they took on our names, and they don't realize that because they've been lied to. So they're angry for no reason. For really, they should be really, really thankful and really wow, and really sorry and shit. You know what I mean? They should be thankful and sorry. They should be thankful that they had all these centuries, or maybe a century, not really quite that long, but maybe a century of all this benefits and all this daggone, things that they have stolen. They benefited off these things of century. They should be thankful for that, and they should be, apologetic. Really, they should be apologetic, and they should be thankful. But instead, they're angry because they feel like we're gonna take it away or something's changing, and they don't know why. You see, so a lot of this is the fault of the globalists. People in control. A lot of this anger and confusion is because they keep this lie going. And it's the entire globalists. It's the entire planet. Because the United States wasn't settled by the English. It was settled by, it was invaded by the entire planet. Like all the major countries came here and invaded at the same doggone time. It's an international corporation. They already stole our ancestors' name. They did it already. They did it. They did it in the 1700s after the Revolutionary War. They started stealing our ancestors' names heavy, and with the Civil War. With the Civil War, they stole the names from the Revolutionary War. But that's what we need to do. We need to make sure that, we understand that these people, understanding them and why they are like angry and they feel like, this is I made it. But no, you were kicked out of your homeland, wherever that was, right? You couldn't get right there and you couldn't, they're going to sustain there. And then you either were sent here because you were a criminal or sent here because you were just couldn't get right, a poor slave. And then they let you rise up and take our place. They let you rise up and take our place as an act of war. As a result, and then as an act of war, you got to rise up and take our place. And as a result, and as an act of war, these immigrants continue to come in and bombard us and take our place. The Southeast Asian, the Pakistan, the Hindustan, and the daggone Africans. The cans are taking our place. They're taking our place. These immigrants are taking our place as an act of war. And we have to understand that the only way we can counter it is by standing up and taking on our actual identity as a landlords. You can't do it if you're somebody that doesn't have a real status in this country, that doesn't have a real history in this country. You can't do it by making up a new name. You got to be your real people, because that's the people that have the rights. The made-up name don't have rights. The made-up name has no history. The made-up name doesn't have land patents. The made-up name doesn't have any families associated with it. You see? So, that's why it's important that you genuinely, work on your genealogy and get that to be a known thing. And if somebody mentioned that they needed help with genealogy, best way to get in touch with me if you have a question about genealogy, which I don't have much time really, but I do have academics that may be able to help or whatever, possibly. But it's to reach out to. Oh, and also what's your website, ANTA? You can go to
AfricanAmericans.com.
Yes, go there if you have questions about your genealogy. Kerry Davis is able to help you for sure. Like, he has folks that are able to help you. So, go ahead and look them up there, because I definitely got a lot.
And listen, when you go looking up your genealogy, leave all that Hebrew, Israelite, Moor, Muslim, leave all that stuff. Don't bring it, because your people that weren't those people. That's another thing, how to get you confused. You ought to get you to claim something that you have nothing to do with. Nothing. It has nothing to do with you. It just leaves you wandering. So, like, if you ask a Hebrew Israelite, well, do you take genealogy tests? What does your genealogy say? Oh, it says I'm a Hebrew. I'm from Jerusalem. Well, weren't you guys kicked out of Jerusalem and brought here? How long did that take? Weren't you mixed with the people? What land you were in then? And they do the normal Negro stuff. I don't know. So be on top, seriously. Think about what you say, what your ancestors say, or somebody put in a group earlier to get the birth certificates and the death certificates. Excellent idea. Because you will see your name all over the place. Your mama's names, your father's names, your aunts, they're everywhere. Get those obituaries, birth certificates, death certificates. You don't know where that'll take you.
Yeah, you said Awanasa 7 said her aunts and aunties were duplicated by a white family, and she's the only. Oh, you're the only one doing the genealogy. I alerted my cousins, and crickets. They don't care. But guess what? That's okay. You know, I went to 2 different family reunions this weekend, right? 2 of them, because my sister found one on Facebook that was going on while we were at the first one. So we went and crashed the second one, right? So when I went to them, I talked to the elders. So the elders were like, "Don't talk to me, talk to her. She knows about the history." They direct me to the person that likes genealogy or likes the family history, right? So I talked to them, but I talked to them, and you talk to the people that are interested, and out of the whole group of people there'll be a table and a half, maybe 2 tables of people that might be interested. There'll be it's going to be a portion. A portion of the people are going to be interested. The majority of the people eyes are going to glass over when you start talking. Their eyes are going to melt in their sockets when you start talking about it. So it's okay. It's a very particular audience, but by, reaching out, and I suggest everybody does this. Look for your family. When you find your family surnames and the names of your tribal people, the surnames are in the census. Those neighbors to your kinfolk, those are your other tribal people. Okay, those are the surnames of your nation. So when you see those other names, whether it's Joins or Smith or Kimball or Robinson or whatever the names are, Powell, whatever is in your census, those people are other people that you should be looking for, because those are your kinfolk, your tribal kinfolk. And so I look for people that have family groups, like for reunions, they have the Jones family or the Thomas family. Look for those family groups and join them. And then you'll find out when they have their reunions, and you can make it your vacation is like hitting all these family reunions. What am I doing on the weekend? Well, I'm hitting another family reunion. And you can plan your vacation around, or your time off, whatever, around, hitting these different families and just getting to know them, and maybe getting a few questions answered, or asking a few questions, or getting information. You get content. They did some research that you don't have. So that's also helping you build information about your people. Yeah.
And they're fun too.
Yeah. They can be really fun. Yeah. I mean, definitely. Some people are very creative in all the little activities they do at these reunions. So we had some good ones that we went to this past weekend. I got to do the bump. They had a 70s party. It's all good. So that was cool. But yeah, so anybody have any more questions? We got any more callers before we cut this off?
Well, cool.
Uh-huh.
Well, if not, we're going to go ahead and close it down, y'all. Get the week started. You guys have a good week. Nice week coming up. Remember, what do you say? You have something to say. What do you say? You guys have a good night, and we'll see you next time. Peace.